Alright guys, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through the new placements of things on the Tandem T-Slim pump once you update Control-IQ. So once you make the update, the upgrade to Control-IQ, the algorithm, they switched a few things around, which personally I think are much better. It's a great idea, but it's going to take some getting used to. So real quick, I'm going to take you guys through my pump and show you where a few new things are. Alright guys, so here we are with the Tandem pump. Wave hello, you can see my reflection. Not for long. I'm going to turn this guy on and show you, look at that, it's a pretty solid blood sugars right there. Got 97, this is about actually almost exactly 2 hours after I ate. I had 140 grams of carbs, 140, which, you know, mind-blowing for a lot of you. You're like, what, how's that possible? It is, you can eat whatever you want if you have the right strategies. Anyways. Let's jump in. First off, go to bolus. This part's super cool actually. And you know what? I'm gonna adjust this camera. There we go. If we're here, it makes it a bit easier for you guys to see, right? So I'm gonna say no correction. It automatically puts in your blood sugars there, which is amazing because it has access to your Dexcom, obviously. You put in your grams and you can actually use this as a calculator, which is incredible. So if I were to do like 12 plus, see this down here, plus 9, now that turns into an equal sign, see that? Equals 21. What? What about plus 17 equals 38? Oh my gosh, it's seriously so cool. I was blown away. So to clear that, go back to the home screen, go into the options, and right here, this is the first big change they made, load. You can now see that load is right in the first part of the menu with options, which is incredible because load is something we do a ton. So we can go to load, change cartridge, and make all those fancy updates to our cartridge, our fill tubing, cannula if you use that, all that good stuff. Next is activity. In the activity setting, you can go exercise, which as you notice, I can't. See, I clicked on it, can't do it. I'll come back in, can't do it. It's because I have sleep active. So look at the home screen right there. I have my sleep cloud active. That's a choice that I made to experiment with. You can go check out my other video, which is Control-IQ, my 1 month review. That went up a couple days ago as to why I leave it in sleep mode right now. But in options, activity, you can do exercise, which aims for a target blood sugar of 140 to 160. Sleep aims for a target blood sugar of 112.5 to 120. And if you turn that off and keep them both off, the normal is going to keep it aiming for, I believe it is 112.5 to 160. So that's what I choose to do. You can also hit sleep schedules and schedule times for you to sleep. I recommend doing that. That's what they built them for. And if we go back to options and go to activity, try and set a temp rate, it will not let you. You cannot set temp rates with Control-IQ while it's on. So you have to turn Control-IQ off, which I'll show you how to do in a second, in order to use temp rates, because it essentially is using temp rates. See that yellow B right there? It currently is decreasing my basal insulin to keep me from going low. So temp rates, it does those already. You don't need to do them. But if you really wanted to, you could go into your options, go down, go to device settings. Actually, no, it's not. Options, my pump, Control-IQ, and you can turn it off right there. So you can say, turning off Control-IQ. I don't want to. And you enter your weight, your total insulin, all that stuff. I don't even know if you guys can see that on my screen, but if you want to turn Control-IQ off, that is how you do it. If you turn it off, it will not break your pump. It's not going to mess it up. You just won't have the safety net, right? Now, within my pump, we also have personal profiles. This is where you're going to edit your basal and bolus and max bolus, and all of your pump settings are going to be in your personal profiles, okay? So make sure those are correct for Control-IQ to run properly. Go back out here, alerts and reminders. If you want alerts, if you want to adjust them, that's where that's going to be. Pump settings, quick bolus, and coming down here, pump info, so your serial number's at. Now down here, this is one thing I think is very important to know, history. If you'll notice, it says how much insulin I have on board right there, but it does not say how long ago I gave my bolus. So, two things you can do. One is come into here and go to my pump, Control-IQ, turn off Control-IQ, go back to your home screen, it will tell you how long since your last bolus. Now your second option, if you wanted to see when the last bolus was, go down to history. So again, that's options, scroll down, history. Go to pump history, go to bolus today. And I look back here at 1311, it gave me my bolus of 8.78 units, and it gives all of the histories and how many carbs you put in and all that great stuff. So that's super, super useful. Same thing for basal. If you want to see today, look at that, basal rate change, basal rate change, basal rate change. It tells you when it decreased or increased your basal so you can get a closer eye on it. But honestly, this is more for the analytical minds like myself who really want to dive deep and figure out what's going on behind the scenes. You could also just let it run its course and not worry too much about it. So look at your total daily dose, your delivery summary, all that stuff is found in your pump history, which is of course in your options screen under history. So you can also go to device settings. You can change your volume. Mine, as you can tell, beeps when I touch anything. I prefer that because I am my own boss and I do whatever I want. But if you're trying to be quiet at work, you should probably change that to vibrate, right? And I apologize, I know this isn't super clear. The way the screen looks on camera, it makes it difficult to film the actual screen, but you can also notice you can stop insulin, but you cannot resume insulin if your insulin, see I'm at 93 now. If I continue to go low, you know, below 70, it's going to cut my insulin. And there is no option to resume insulin. So if for some reason you wanted to resume insulin, you could, this is a workaround that I found, go into my pump, Control-IQ, turn Control-IQ off, and then in the options menu, you have the option to resume insulin once again, because Control-IQ is no longer working to your advantage. So overall, that's a general overview of where everything is. If you want to tap up here in the upper right, it'll give you an overview of what's going on. Your last bolus, and this is your third option for figuring out your last bolus. Last bolus was at 1311, 8.78, gives you that information up here as well, which is awesome. It tells you Control-IQ is active. That symbol tells me it's decreasing my basal rate. This shows the exact basal rate, and I'm on my profile number 1. Great info to have. You can tap here to take a look at your CGM and adjust how much you're seeing. Battery life, time, all that stuff's the same. So overall, amazing. The biggest change that I love is seeing that load is right there, because you change your pump site every couple days. So having it right there is awesome. So the two most things that I use most frequently, maybe 3. I use history to look at my recent bolus. However, now I might just start doing this. That's way easier. Load, obviously, and activity, tapping on that sleep. Now, I have yet to use the exercise function because I'm going to be blunt, I've mastered that section of my diabetes. I know how to keep my blood sugars perfect during exercise, so I don't have a use for that, but you might love that function. So don't hesitate to play around with it and to give it a shot. So that's where everything is. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Make sure, there's going to be a button that pops up right there. Make sure you subscribe and don't miss the next videos we're putting out this kind of content. Usually once, if not more, per week. So go subscribe, hit that button right there. Have an awesome day, guys. Keep up the fight, and I wish you the best blood sugars. Peace.